fired, Woody Johnson taking shots, more changes coming, your phone calls, and so much more. Let's go on a late night edition.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Digital reporter for Heavy.com. And oh my goodness. Well, I got to be honest, I didn't have Robert Saleh getting fired on the old bingo card, but wow. I will be honest. The news was surprising to me. I reacted to it live on my radio show earlier today, 10 to 12, here in Syracuse. But we haven't gotten a chance to talk about it here on the old digital video show. Now, I'm going to be honest. This surprised me. But at the end of the day, it's hard to be mad at Woody Johnson for throwing down the guillotine on Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh had the third worst winning percentage in New York Jets history for a head coach that has coached at least a season. The only two that were worse, Rich Kotite and Adam Gase. That's a pretty shitty company to be a part of. So as much as I liked Robert Saleh, the guy, there were just too many bugaboos, even though, again, it surprised me. I didn't think the Jets were going to fire Robert Saleh, at least not at this point. Not when in week 6 on Monday Night Football, you played a game with first place on the line. But when you make the amount of mistakes that you put together here, it's hard to argue with Woody Johnson. This is a guy that consistently had his teams unprepared to play, slow starts to games, penalty issues, and didn't have explanations that were good enough. Penalty issues that have plagued him throughout his entire tenure as the head coach of the New York Jets. He said, we'll fix it. We'll do this. I don't like embarrassing guys. I don't like doing this. The results were just bad, bad, and bad. The unpreparedness, the slow starts to games were nauseating, and he didn't have an answer to them. Are the Jets a better football team now without Robert Saleh? We're going to find out. Jeff Ulbrich, I'm so happy for the guy. He deserves an opportunity. I didn't know when or if he was ever going to get it, but he gets it here at the Jets. He has a long runway for the rest of the season to prove that he can be head coach material. He has the rest of the season to prove that. Again, it surprised me. But to be honest, after it kind of hit me that Robert Saleh was fired, the only possible explanation, the only rationale is that Robert Saleh lost the team, lost his coaches, lost his locker room. And if you listen to Woody Johnson's statement, it's hard not, even though he didn't directly take shots at Robert Saleh, he indirectly certainly took shots at Robert Saleh. I mean, listen to or just read the Woody Johnson statement that they put out there into the universe. He said, Jeff Ulbrich will serve as our interim coach. He called him a tough coach. He is a tough coach who has the respect of the coaches and players on this team. Let's stop it right there. It's almost as if he's indirectly saying that Robert Saleh did not have the respect of the coaches and players on this team. Quincy Williams came out and called out the accountability of this team. I mean, it's hard not to be able to correlate that after seeing the things that Woody Johnson said. I think this team is immediately going to be sparked by this decision. I think we're going to an immediate spark in this massive game. Week 6, Monday Night Football, first place in the AFC East is on the line. One of the big problems of the Salah era has been the fact that there have been slow starts to games and almost a lack of preparation. With Ulbrich, there's going to be instant energy, instant chutzpah, instant juice as soon as he's the head coach. I can already foresee it now. The Jets beat the Buffalo Bills. Woody Johnson gives the game ball to Jeff Ulbrich in the locker room, and the locker room goes crazy. It won't be easy. The Buffalo Bills are a good team. But we needed a spark. Robert says it on our Heavy on Jets Facebook page. Oh, I hope we're a spark, Paul. I think we will be. Salah's energy sucked. And let's just put it bluntly here. This roster is freakishly talented. Woody Johnson said it's the best roster they've put together in 25 years. That's during his ownership. Which, by the way, I was listening to a lot of shows because obviously this is my first time talking about it here on the digital video platform. And I was listening to a lot of other people talk about it. Bricked up, as people are saying. I see you, Lawrence. Everyone's saying bricked up. I saw that on the Jake Asman show. Well, I've been listening to a lot of other people comment on this before I have gotten an opportunity here in this space. And Daniel Jeremiah noticed how Woody Johnson said that about, wow, this roster is really well put together. That seems like a big tip of the cap, certainly. A big tip of the cap, certainly, to what Joe Douglas has been able to do. But the coaching, and let's go to Robert Saleh since he was the one that was fired. This is the guy that did not get the most talent out of this team. He did not get the most juice out of this team. And thus, Woody Johnson decided to make a change. And like I said, if you're going to change it to anybody, Jeff Ulbrich's the guy. I love Jeff Ulbrich. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity. But here's the big key. And the keys are in the hands of Jeff Ulbrich. What other changes are coming? Woody Johnson, I heard his conference call with the media, and he said those basically will be up to Jeff Ulbrich, but we'll make any changes necessary. So Robert Saleh is gone, but Nathaniel Hackett's still there. Keith Carter is still there. And those decisions will rest in the hands of Jeff Ulbrich. It sounds like those guys may still be here on the team. It doesn't sound like they're going to get fired necessarily, but we'll see. That decision will be made over the coming days. Does Jeff Ulbrich continue to call plays on the defense? Do they bring in somebody else for that? Can Ulbrich balance the both spots? Because I don't want the defense to be lost here because Jeff Ulbrich, that's his calling card, but also we need a head coach. So it's going to be a balance to see what can happen. And by the way, I see Alan already in our comments. Alan Stradamus. Alan 100% deserves love. I can't remember if I put that in the YouTube short video, but yes, Alan nailed it, baby. He talked about Robert Saleh having to be fired. And again, I just didn't think it would happen this early. So credit to Woody Johnson. He was obviously pissed off. And so pissed off that this was an emotional decision from this standpoint. Think about this. Robert Saleh spoke to the media on Monday. He survived the plane trip. He survived the meetings. He came into work today like, he had no idea he was about to get shit canned. So, Woody Johnson made this, and booyah, Jeff Ulbrich's a head coach. So he's got a lot of things to figure out. This is brand new. And we're about to open up the phone lines because I can't wait to hear the comments from you guys. But Badshaw, no Devonte Adams or Hassan Reddick. I'm surprised, to be honest. I thought the Devonte Adams thing would have came in. And according to insiders around the league, this Robert Saleh firing has zero impact, according to them, on the Devonte Adams news. And I'm like, wow, okay. So apparently Devonte still wants to come here. So again, I've been driving around. I had to drive 3 hours, hour and a half to Rochester, hour and a half back. I hung out with my pop, a little hop on pop action. There's no show going on. We're eating food together. And it was a busy day. And then I came back and said, I'm going to jump on basically as soon as I got home. So here I am. So, guys, maybe the Devonte Adams news will break in the middle of our show. Who knows? Who knows? All right, we're going to open up the phone lines. as I'm letting you guys gather, let's get a quick song from Hep, and we'll put up the call-in line and get the calls in from you guys. We'll conversate about the Robert Saleh, Woody Johnson shots, and God knows whatever else on your mind. Plus, of course, we'll be on live tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily and Nick Ferry, but we had to get on before then to talk about this Saleh. Let's hear from Hep, and we'll have the phone lines open in just a moment.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. We're talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, baby. And you heard the line there. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Is that going to be happening? It has never happened with an interim head coach before, which can only mean one of two things. It's never going to happen, or we're due, baby. And we'll see. That was one of my big pushbacks, to be honest, with a potential Robert Saleh midseason firing is like, damn, you'd be, in theory, waving the white flag on a Super Bowl season. So this is not something, again, I had on the bingo card. I like Robert Saleh, the person, a lot, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's hard to defend Saleh when he has that winning percentage. He has the terrible press conferences when he's at the podium and there's no accountability, and putting that together. It's hard to, fight back against the people that say, I don't know, on pushing back against a Saleh firing. It's hard to push back because the results are the results. This is a results-oriented business. The records suck. And Woody Johnson, interestingly, because you have two potential options to do it here, he's never fired a coach in the middle of a season ever in his entire ownership. Even Adam Gates was here, for Pete's sake, and he didn't do it. So that's another thing that caught me off guard. But Woody is hitting it on the other end. At one point, you can kill it in the middle of the season, ride out the year. The other one is do it early and say, you know what? Rip the Band-Aid off. He sensed it wasn't working. He sensed that there was a vibe off around the team and said, you know what? Let's pull the plug right now. Let's give the keys to Ulbrich. Let's give him a long runway. We got this big-ass game on Monday Night Football, and let's go. Lucas says it. I think accountability is key. I think that's one of the reasons why Saleh isn't here. Accountability, penalties, preparedness. The podium was god-awful, and obviously he's not hitting the things behind the scenes. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got our boy Badshaw here on the program. What's up, man?
Oh, bud.
Wow.
I just want to say, so at the beginning of the season, we hadn't signed Hassan Reddick.
Right, yep.
I don't know, do you have like ESPN notifications on your phone?
I do have some sort of notifications for big news. It's supposed to come through. Yeah.
So literally ever since the season started, every time my ESPN little na-na-na goes off,
yeah,
I'm like, did we get this set up? Is he on the team? Like, did we get the deal done? And it's like, no, it's always something. And then it's, are we going to get Devonte Adams? And I'm like, this morning, every time my phone goes off, it's like this and that. And then I get the notification that we fired Robert. And I'm not like a Robert Saleh guy. Like, I'm not like sitting here defending him because it's not been good.
Right.
I mean, do you think now that Ulbrich is in charge, do you think our offense is going to do anything different? Or Ulbrich's not going to be calling any different plays. I mean, I felt like Hackett should have gotten canned, in my opinion.
Yeah. I will tell you first off how I found out the news. So I do my radio show 10 to 12. It's like 10:05. And I try to have Twitter open just for situations exactly like this where I can see it. And I saw the second Schefter tweet first. And I was kind of like, I cocked my head sideways. Like, what the? Like, I mean, I can read it, but it was something to the effect of like, Salah was informed of the news today, and I went like informed of the news. I'm like, oh, did he get COVID or something? What happened? And then I'm like, and then I go to the first tweet. It says Robert Saleh was fired, and I'm like, I got to float the mouse over the Adam Schefter name. Is this Adam Schlaffer? Is this like a phony account? And I saw it said like a cajillion million followers. I went, oh my. And I interrupt my co-host who was talking about God knows what. And I'm like, there's been breaking news. Yeah, Robert Saleh was fired. And he went, well, he just said, well, this show just changed. And then whoop, it was 2 hours of Robert Saleh is what happened. But to your point, here's the thing. I think there's going to be an immediate energy. There's going to be immediate juice. The Monday Night Football game, everything. I think the players have been, just watching on the sidelines. There's been a lot of lethargic play. Breece Hall's been, kind of just flopping around. Sauce, a couple of these guys, they've just kind of lacked it. Not everybody. Again, Garrett looked fired up. But there's been a couple of guys that just didn't seem to have the juice. I don't know if they were caught in the morass or what have you, but they seem to be, kind of just, I don't want to use the word moping. I heard the Badlands people were using that word, but whatever the word you guys want to use, that they were just kind of going through the motions. And it was like, damn, come on, we're in the middle of the season. We're supposed to be doing all these things. So I think that part will pick up immediately, but it is to your point. The problem here isn't the defense. The defense was awesome in London. They were terrific. It's the offense, and no changes have been made yet. After listening to Woody Johnson, I also heard Jeff Ulbrich's introductory press conference as the interim head coach.
I did like what he said. Like I
did too. Yeah. He speaks well, but I think there are a lot of questions we don't know yet, and that's kind of was my vibe from the presser because again, he just got promoted at that time, like 4 hours before his press conference, and he doesn't normally do press conferences like this. And it sounded like he hadn't figured things out yet. Like, is he still going to call plays? Is Hackett even still here? Is Keith Carter still here? Is Todd Downing the other guy who's calling plays? So to me, it sounds like it's all up to Ulbrich. It's probably going to be these guys in the intermediate because we're running out of days. I know we have more time because it's a Monday Night Football game, but to like remove a guy and say, hey, new guy, you're now calling play. There's a lot of hoopla that people don't care about, but that's behind the scenes with some of that stuff that's going on. I believe probably in the interim, those guys are probably riding through Monday Night Football, probably. But it sounds like Ulbrich's going to be making some decisions. And the way Woody sounded in his conference call, it sounds like other changes are coming on offense, and he realizes the offense sucks. So, to your point, if the only change was Ulbrich to Salah, I think there'd be more energy. But the biggest problem is the offense. What does that change outside of maybe they're fighting a little harder? But even still, what's the major difference? So I think Todd Downing probably is calling plays sooner rather than later, whether that's Monday Night Football or rather. And Keith Carter, boy, he sounds like a guy that's on the chopping block too. And who are the guys stepping in for those guys? So there's kind of a lot of layered questions here.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Woody's. I haven't listened to that telephone conference, but
yeah,
I don't know. Watching the Vikings game the other day, you could see it on Salah's face. Like, he just didn't look. He looked. I mean, and we ended up, making a pretty good comeback.
For sure. They were in it. They had a game-winning drive at the end. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw that pick, and think about that with the Broncos game too, they missed a game-winning field goal. They throw a back-breaking interception at the end. He threw a couple other interceptions in this game. You don't have to squint very hard to see 4-1, which is crazy to think about. And if they win either game, Salah isn't fired. And Allen isn't dancing around a fire doing some sort of a weird rain dance of some sort. Like, that wouldn't be happening. So, I'm sure, Allen's like, the small sacrifice for the greater good, because that would have meant Salah, I imagine, would continue to stick around. If you're 3-2 or 4-1, we're in a different Jets world right now. We're not probably doing this live stream late at night in this realm for this news. We're hoping to do it for Devonte Adams news. Exactly. That's the truth. So it just shows you how fine the line is between sucking and being great, being good, being average, and that sort of thing.
Yep. I agree. It scares me moving pieces around in the middle of the season. And I get it. I think you're right. I think he's going to bring a different kind of atmosphere to the game. I think a lot of people had kind of checked out with Salah and whatnot. Yeah. And I feel like every time I say his name, I say it a different way. I'm like, Salah, Salah. But
hey, here's a spoiler alert. I don't think you're going to have to be saying it much anymore. So whatever way you said it before, I don't think he's going to mind. Yeah.
Well, and I wanted to tell you something to kind of lighten the mood.
Okay.
I'd ordered some stuff from you.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I was in St. Louis this weekend. Well, apparently the package was delivered.
Nice.
Well, so my wife brings it in,
and
somebody had went through my package.
What?
So I'm like, oh shit! Like, there's probably nothing in there.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I guess whoever went through my package, I mean, it was ripped open. The top was ripped open.
Oh,
All
God.
my stuff had been gone through. Didn't take a damn thing. They didn't see.
So I don't know if that's good news or bad news. Like, they looked through this and went, "Oh, Jesus!" Like, they almost threw money in. Jeez, I didn't know you were going through such troubles here. So I don't know if that's good or bad news.
I
but,
know, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, golly, they looked in here thinking, God knows what was in here. They just saw a bunch of jet stuff and threw it back in there. Everything was intact. It wasn't torn or nothing. So, but I appreciate the stuff and the letter you sent me, man. And I don't get to call in the mornings as often as I used to, just traveling to work, but I'm always watching the show. I wanted to let you know that. And when I found out the news, you were the first person I turned to this morning, was like, what's Boy Green saying? And Jared B., he runs that Discord well, because I'm telling you, the minute I got the notification, I pulled up the Discord, Jared B. had already posted something like 3 minutes before me. So I don't know if he's got some contacts at ESPN or what, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, good for him. I'm glad that he gets to keep the train rolling. And I said it in the Discord, but I'll say it to everyone now. We got 700 people in the room. I apologize. I on the busiest day of the year, thankfully, the Devonte Adams news somehow did not come down. I was so worried because, again, where I was at for work and driving to where my dad is was an hour and a half away. He wanted to do dinner, and then an hour and a half back, I'm like, oh, my God, Dad, this Devonte Adams is going to drop in the middle of this. I don't have any of my gear. If it breaks, there's nothing I can do. I can't do a show. There's no articles. There's no Discord. There's nothing. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm like, let's try to enjoy this dinner, and blessed be he. Hopefully, breaking news comes through. And thankfully it did not somehow. And I was like, oh, thank God. But yeah, I apologize to everyone, because I appreciate that you thought of me first, but we go here like, what the hell, does Paul not know that Salah got fired? This is the first show of this video content that I'm able to do for it. So I appreciate the patience from everybody.
No, we're patient. We're patient. We know where we get our good sources from. So, and if y'all listen tonight, if you open the door, you can hear Alan laughing.
Again, Alan Stradamus. I don't even know if that's a real word, but it feels it. Again, he is all in his glory right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. Wait, there might be some Devonte Adams news. Hang on tight. Wait a second here. Wait a second. I just got the notification on the phone. Let me just check. Old Schefter here. Wait a second. Oh, come on with the old notifications, Twitter. Oh, you bastard.
My heart stopped.
Come on, man. It looks like the trade talks have slowed down. All right, let me see if I could get this Bleacher Report. You bastards. When I get it like this, I'm like, oh, this must be Jared B. level breaking news here. Let me see what the hell this is. So I'll just reveal this update. So talks have slowed down. Okay, that explains that. All right, let's see. Okay, here it is. This must have been on NFL Live today, which again I missed. So this is from Adam Schefter via Bleacher Report. So screw you bastards for the 5 hours late news. Really appreciate it. But if no one saw this, quote, I think the events in New York and the events in New Orleans may have slowed down trade talks with the other two teams. We'll see if and when they can pick up some steam, because everyone does expect that Adams is going to be traded. We just don't know where or when. And, of course, the news he's talking about, in case you guys missed it at the end of that Monday Night Football game, old Derek Carr injured his oblique. He looks like he's going to miss some time. If someone has a better update than that, let me know, because obviously I've been in and off the phone. But I know he's just going to miss some time, and I heard Spencer Rattler might start. So it's at least a week, if not more, for Carr. And obviously Devonte doesn't want to be playing with Spencer Rattler, no offense. And then obviously with all the Jet stuff and firing Salah. So we'll keep an eye on for that. But okay. So no big news yet to drop, I'm afraid. No big news to drop.
It's coming. I feel like we've got to get a bone here in a minute. You know what I mean?
Damn straight, man. Yeah. I appreciate it. Well, Bad Shot, thanks for the call. Thanks for the kind words, brother. And I'm sure we'll be hearing from you again soon.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Paul.
All right. Hey, come on. Let's get to him. Again, I'm sure he's doing a rain dance of some kind. Alan here on the show. Alan Stradamus.
I'm sitting here in the dark, just got back from the supermarket, and I couldn't believe you were on.
Yes.
First of all, listening to Badshaw in that voice say that someone went through his package is just classic, amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, when you start the sentence, Robert Saleh was a nice guy.
Yeah.
There's just so many jokes that could be made after that.
That's probably true. Yeah.
It was the right move. I commend Woody Johnson, and trust me, I have never said that in my life. Okay. I commend Woody Johnson for being forward thinking.
Yeah.
He knew he had to get this done before Monday night. He had to.
It was a bold move, and he might get flack in some places and he has, because I've been trying to, with the 3 hours of driving, I got to listen to what a lot of other people were saying about it, and I heard Damian Woody go crazy about it. He was super against firing Salah. It seemed like the timing of it and all this other stuff, but I think for Woody, while he may catch some of that heat for doing it week 5 and a game out of first place and all this, you can make the argument for the other side of the season's hanging in the balance, that someone, like, it's hanging in the ethos and someone can grab it and still save it. So I think you could do the reverse of the criticism and actually give props to Woody's gall to say, you know what, F this, I'm only getting older here, like, time is now, and let's go make something happen. So yeah, I think Woody deserves a lot of credit for this. I didn't see it coming. This surprised the hell out of me, especially the timing of it. But boy, I think this gives Jeff Ulbrich one of the best opportunities an interim head coach in history has ever gotten with a team to try to turn things around, and we'll see what he does with it.
I'll tell you one thing that made me think about this. When I looked at the spread this morning for Monday night's game.
What is it? I have no idea. I haven't seen it.
It started out at Buffalo -2.5. I think Buffalo's now -2. And I'm thinking to myself, Josh Allen was 9 for 30 Sunday.
Oh, God. That was the worst completion percentage since 1992, I think I saw. Yeah.
With a bunch of CFL receivers on his team. Yeah. Remember, Shakir didn't play, okay?
Correct, right.
And yet, the Bills are coming into our building as favorites. If I'm a bettor, I'm thinking, why does this sound weird? And I'm thinking, you know what? The books know when it's time to bet against the coach, you bet against the coach.
Yeah.
And I will tell you one thing, with this move, that spread will be pick'em, or the Jets will be favored by the end of the week.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
There was no confidence in this coach. Again, this is what bothered me the most about him. Whether it was press conference 15 or press conference 30 or game 50 or game 56, it was the same damn excuse. The rain, the other team was better. Our defense played well. When a coach starts off with, our defense gave up 13 points, you know you do not have the right coach. I think it's the right move. And for Salah, I think it's an opportunity to realize that maybe being a DC isn't bad after all. And I think that's where he ends up. And I think for the betterment of his future, I think that's where he should stay.
And he gave a great diatribe this morning, Alan, about Steve Spagnuolo, who obviously failed as a head coach for St. Louis. Again, Alan Stradamus of, that's a wonderful career. And again, Robert Saleh is going to have, because of the NFL's a brotherhood, and all you got to do is know the right people. And Saleh, again, I'm not trying to denigrate Saleh's defensive mastery, that helps too. But the brotherhood paired with his defensive mind, he will have a DC job until he's dead. And apparently he's going to take the rest of this year. God bless. He's getting paid for it anyway. He's going to enjoy vacation time with his big-ass family, and he's going to get a sexy DC job next year, which will probably be back in San Francisco with how things are going, Nick Sorensen, and he'll get that with the 49ers. So Saleh's going to have a job forever, man. So, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Two final things. I do hope for the betterment of the person that he, even if he's successful for the next 3 years, whether it's as San Francisco's DC or whether it's Cincinnati's DC or wherever.
Miami even maybe, sure.
Miami's DC. I do hope he doesn't take another head coaching job. I just don't feel it's in him. I feel like he is a great leader of a certain group of men. I think he has so much passion for defense. I just think the biggest struggle he had with this job is that he had to focus on the other side of the ball. And I just don't think he really invested enough time in doing so. And that's what you need as a head coach.
It seemed too little too late, right? I don't know if you heard it on the broadcast of the London game, but Jamie Erdahl of NFL Network said something Salah did different this year, and again, he was in the middle of year 4, they had never done before, is he made it in his schedule that he would be in all the quarterback meetings this offseason for the first time. He was never in them before to that level, and he made an effort to do it. And a little voice in my head said, too little too late. But I was like, like Paul, inner voice in Paul's head, shut up. Like, again, we're still very early in the season. Like, and then like everything happened to him. Like, and I went back to that thing in my head, went, wow, well, there you go.
And one final comment, and this is a shot against Makai Becton. Can the guy just shut the fuck up? I mean, what a complete douchebag. Trust me, I didn't want to draft him. I thought we should have drafted Tristan. If you look at his stats this year, his first year as left tackle, 295 plays, no penalties, no sacks. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
For Makai Becton to open his mouth when this coach actually defended him and coddled him and treated him like a 5-year-old. And again, I don't defend the coach at all. Yeah. But for Makai Becton to open his mouth and go on his Twitter account or Instagram
to make a joke,
it's just classless. But again, I think this is the right move for the franchise. It's a great day for the organization. One of the better days for Woody Johnson, for a guy who's really been somewhat of a failure as an owner. I think he definitely went the extra mile. He knew he had to get this done before the Buffalo game, and it took balls, but it was the right move. And finally, Joe Douglas, you will never get an opportunity to hire another coach. So the next 12 games, and hopefully for him, maybe 2 or 3 playoff games, is do or die. Okay. I don't want to hear, oh, we made the playoffs and lost in the first round. If that happens, he goes too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Paul, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you got the opportunity to speak to Alonstradamus and realize when you listen to me more, things always go your way. Thank you.
All right. Love it. Alan, there you go. Joining us here on the show. We got 900 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We appreciate it. I see we have a ton of callers. We'll keep getting to you. And yeah, got to give the love to Alan. I know not everyone loves Alan, and that's fine for a lot of different reasons. But hey, man, you got to give credit where credit's due. Alan's been on this the entire time. By the way, for those who missed what Makai Becton said, so Robert Saleh gets fired. He responds to him getting fired and the terribleness of his head coaching, and he had that the funeral gif of going to. It's like the gif of like I went to my hater's funeral. Like, so he tried to make a joke. I don't know what went through his head where he went, never mind, I want to delete that. But the internet's forever. So Makai, again, throwing rocks from glass houses seems really weird. It'd be one thing if Makai went to Eagles land and is this all pro and it was all the Jets' fault. But I think all the throwing up tells you everything that you need to know. So pretty low. Was not a fan of that activity. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Who do we got? We got Sharif Baby here on the show. What's up, Sharif?
What's going on, my boy?
Hey, good to see you, pal.
Good to see you, man. I'm not as excited as everyone else, man. Been a Jets fan for a long time. I play football. I was telling it to Jake Asman. He got real pissed with me.
Oh,
it
boy.
clipped me off, but we got this America, right? And it's a free country, and I got the freedom to have my own opinion.
Of course, yeah.
Everything a lot of people saying about Salah is true as far as him not being aggressive. You know, nice guys finish last, man.
Yeah.
I'm born in New York, raised in Newark, New Jersey. This is a rough place to be in on any level.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a dick. You have to. he wasn't really catching on to that. But at the same time, you got to think about it. He built the Jets, man. I don't care what nobody say. I watched this team, bro. He built the Jets. The Jets is relevant because of Salah. Point blank, period. Our defense, we've been losing forever. And we've been prime time for the last 3 years and more than most teams. Look at us this year. It's because of Salah, bro. Hackett should have got fired. And remember I came on here and told you, I was like, look, man, people need to stop picking with both of them and get a chance to let it go,
Okay.
After week 3, Hackett, he living in the 90s. I'd rather see Aaron Rodgers, man. I can be a better offensive coordinator than Hackett. Word is
very
bond.
archaic.
I was thinking,
yes.
All right. I mean, the arcade got better plays than him, bro. I don't know what he thinking with the personnel. You running 4th and 1, and you in a pistol, and you giving the biggest running back in the league, the youngest and biggest back you got. He's 9 yards. Man, that's retarded. Instead of being under the center, ain't no way in the world Aaron Rodgers called that. But what I'm gonna say is this, man. I hope you don't dislike me for this, bro.
Oh, no. I just want to make, before you say even whatever you're going to say, what I try to have on this show is a platform for people to share their opinions. And I don't have to agree or disagree with any of it. I think it's everyone's right in this country to have an opinion on whatever it is, if it's something as simple as football or not. So, no, feel free. I'm sure. Well, I guess it depends on what it is, I guess. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to hate you for whatever it is. What's on your mind?
I'm a level with y'all for a minute because everybody, we get caught up in the world. It's a lot going on in the world. You understand?
Sure.
Last year around this time, a few months, a real war started that's still going on. Robert Saleh from that country that just got heavily involved. Okay?
Okay.
Across the pond that morning, under the British monarch scope, he wore a Lebanese flag where he from on his shirt.
Okay.
They collar Kaepernick, my man. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
They collar Kaepernicked him. And I'm gonna tell you why, bro.
All right.
There's no way in the world you can listen to all of the sports analysts. Listen to all of them. Listen to Tiki and them. Listen to First Take. Listen to what they're saying. And listen to how more than half of them would say something very similar to what I'm saying. Okay. This is very, very strange. Even I don't agree with Salah doing 100%. I don't, man. And I definitely don't agree if we think we going to the Super Bowl firing our head coach in week 5 while we about to fight for first place in Monday night, prime time. It's the stupidest thing on earth. And I've been a business owner for 3.5 years, and I ain't no billionaire. Okay. But my little master plumber business pay my bills. And I know one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, bro. You cannot change your CEO position that many times and think you running your business correctly. Point blank, period. You don't clip the most important. He's the most and the best coaches that they got. I'm waiting to see how this guy is. Don't send me a high school clip of him talking to high school. I was just telling Jazz Asman that I played from Pee-wee to high school. He said, "Oh, did you coach in the NFL?" Most of the people, no disrespect to you or anybody who got podcasts, is how much football have y'all played? How much football have you coached?
And I think that's a fair to me. I think that's where we get lost on a lot of people. Where if you're on an ESPN show, we'll just talk about that for a second because there are people that have played the NFL and there are people who have not. I think if you try to denigrate, if it was me and Damian Woody on the screen right now, just for an example. If Damian was to turn to me and say, "Paul, you didn't play in the NFL, so my opinions don't matter," that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Sure, someone being in the NFL or something certainly adds to, and I've had Damian on the show, that adds to it, but I don't think it denigrates somebody else. I can't have an opinion, not saying you're saying this, but for people, and I get the overall root of your conversation that if you haven't doesn't mean you don't have it. So I agree to the people like me, Jake, and anybody else who's content creators. What says my opinion's any better than anybody else's? I let the people interpret whether they think I'm an idiot or not. And by the way, they have no problems telling me that on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, 100. It's a fair double take. What do I know more than you or anyone else? Yeah,
exactly. And I ain't calling nobody idiot for their opinion. But remember when I came the first time, the bashing to Robert Saleh, to me, felt a little more personal than football. People are hiding behind the football things. It's very obvious that our problem is offense, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense, again, to this week 5, has kept us relevant.
Sure.
Besides San Francisco in week 1, when they pooped themselves the whole first half, pretty much, the defense, then they got the late in the third quarter, early fourth, they start tightening it up. But other than that, our defense was back regular after that. It's been the offense. And as much as I love Aaron Rodgers, as much as I love that he with us, he threw 3 picks in London, bro. 1 for a pick 6. He didn't look like himself.
Right.
He did. How is that Salah's fault?
That's a fair retort. I would.
No. The reality is he was across the pond.
Okay.
While all of this war is going on and everybody don't want to talk. Israel ain't winning like how the America is trying. It's a lot of stuff going on. They got a hand. They getting the foot up their butt right now. He came over there under the scope of the British monarch with his flag. He probably wasn't thinking much of it, just represent what's going on. His people understand that's his people, that's his family. They fighting for their land. They fighting for freedom. Everybody in the world calling it genocide except the United States media. Stop playing, man. Put football aside for a minute. We human beings. This only lasts for a few months. People got real lives going on. So I believe they clipped his livelihood. Just his buddies over there was like, look, man, you got that guy over here wearing his flag. Man, I forgot he was one of them. Man, get him out of there. How you going to come Tuesday morning and lose his job? Out of the blue. Don't nobody know. And I could see it in the new head coach. I see it, man. I read people, I see it. They all blown. They like, whoa, nobody knew. The head coach never fires like this, especially in the middle of the season, bro. Never. And it never works out well. I hope it works out good for us. But it just don't look good. People could be happy all they want. This don't look good.
Okay, Sharif. Interesting takes. Like I said, I don't hate you for it. So I'll say that off the top. I would just say a few things. I don't believe the flag had anything to do with it, if I'm being honest. I saw the viral thing for the Jake Asman show, and his show's been the most viewed show Jake has ever had. Joe Beningo. I just think that take is wild. The NFL is telling everyone of different descent to wear their flags proudly to show the diversity of the NFL. I don't think that's like what he's like, that Lebanese bastard. I forgot. Well, what do you mean you forgot? He hired, like, that doesn't make any sense. So I just, we could agree to disagree. I'm here, you're there. Again, I don't hate you for your take and others that have it. But to me, that is absolutely wild. I just don't see it at all. I just don't see that. Now, to the point of like the offense is the issue. Okay, we're on the same page, but here's the thing. So you could fire Hackett, that's fine, and maybe he will be fired or his role will be reduced over the coming days. Maybe that is still to happen. But if Roberts, like the head of the snake is the leader, and if people are not quite resonating with the leader, then none of the rest of it is going to matter. And it seems clear based on Woody Johnson's words in his statement where he praised Jeff Ulbrich for being a tough coach, someone the coaches respect, someone the players respect, that those are indirect shots at Salah, that the coaches didn't respect him and the players didn't respect him. Quincy Williams came out and said, we need accountability from the top to the bottom. And we're like, who is he talking about? Robert Saleh gets fired. Well, bing, boom, bam, start connecting the dots. He was losing the room. And if he was losing the room, again, I wasn't all on board with Saleh getting fired. This news surprised me. Okay. But if Woody got a sense, and obviously he did, that the locker room is being lost, then it is over. There's no putting that tube back in the toothpaste. Once the locker room is lost, all hell breaks loose. And Woody Johnson had the pulse of the team and said, oh, hell no. We're pulling this out at the root, and we're going to give Jeff Ulbrich a guy that they do respect and they do get all fired up for, and he's a former NFL player in the league for 10 years. Let's put him in there and then allow him to make the decisions. Now, Woody could have went wild, wild west, said, Hackett, you're fired. Keith Carter, you're fired. Saleh, get your ass out of here. He could have. He's the owner. That's the perk of getting to write the checks. but he fired the top guy, removed him. Salah's off the chessboard. Ulbrich, you're the guy. Now you, Jeff Ulbrich, you're the head coach now. You make those decisions. And we will see over the coming days what decisions he makes. So the flag stuff, I totally just don't buy. I'm open to hearing other opinions. And sometimes, I have an opinion, I stand here, and someone that's going to join us, we have a lot of callers here, is going to say, hey, Paul, have you thought about this? And I'll go, whoa, okay, my opinion has changed based on that new information. I'm willing to listen to people out. But that one that I've heard in Sharif, I don't buy it. But that's okay. I'm not going to hate you for it, but everyone's got different takes. That one I just don't get. I think Salah was fired because he has the third worst winning percentage in Jets franchise history as a head coach. And the only people we were better than was Rich Kotite and Adam Gase, who both stink. I think that's why Robert Saleh lost his job. Sure, you can argue in this specific game against the Vikings, was the defense the reason they lost? No, but also Jeff Ulbrich was the one calling plays, not Robert Saleh. Jeff Ulbrich's been calling plays the whole time. Robert Saleh hasn't called plays since he became a head coach. Now, I'm not saying it has nothing to do with the defense. I'm sure he's been giving all kinds of insights to Ulbrich, but Ulbrich's the one that's been running the shop. This guy has gotten zero credit outside of a few of us Jet fans go, ooh, week 6, Eagles last year, good game plan he put together. But for the most part, in the general sense, Ulbrich's been getting zip and pip credit. I've been hearing all the television shows of people going, Salah was the secret sauce, and you removed the best thing about your team. Ulbrich was there too, man. I think he deserves some respect. So I think the offense obviously has problems, but if you don't believe in the head coach, you can move the chair, or you can rearrange the chairs on the Titanic. That ship is still going down. So that will be up ultimately to Ulbrich. But a lot of good conversations. Let's go back to the phone lines. Got a lot of people waiting here. Let's go to Johnny Boy here on the show. What's up, Johnny? Oh, from the home office. Very nice.
Boy Green. I want to say this first, right?
Sure.
OMG, baby.
Hey, congrats, Mets, okay? Buddy. You guys got a chance to close it out. It doesn't have to go back to Philly. Beautiful.
All right. Salah happened. First person I hit up today was you. Right. And I was like,
thanks for the text while I was on the radio. I appreciate that.
I was like, I know my dude is itching to want to get on. But he has so much stuff got going on. Right. So that now, what Ali is saying, right? Salah got fired because of Salah. You just said the two names, Kotite and Gase. You do not want to be nowhere near those names. And he was right there with them, right? 56 games, only won 20, lost 36. JD built this team. He gave you the tools, and you couldn't execute with them. This year was supposed to be different. Do I blame some of the stuff on Hackett? Yes, I do. But to put this all on Aaron Rodgers, to me, it's wild. You got a quarterback that's thrown over 96 times, 54 times last week against one of the top defenses in the league, right? They adapt like that quick. I've played the sport. I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? Hey, BG, you've played it, right? Yes. You adapt to stuff like that quick, especially when you got a really talented team like the Vikings have. Okay. Now, Salah lost the locker room. And not only did he lose the locker room, he lost the coaches. Bro, I've never seen Aaron Rodgers going like this. You know what I'm saying? Just pissed off and all that. The line, is it horrible right now? Yes, it is. But we're expecting Olu Fashanu, that's normally a left tackle, play a right tackle, right? And be all pro like that. It doesn't happen. We're putting expectations on these individuals that are not going to meet it. They're going to fail, right? You got a guy by the name of, I don't even know the tight end's name again. That was
Brendan whiffing. Bates.
That's whiffing on chip blocks to try to help out, right? But then people are coming out the woodwork and saying, well, fire freaking Brees. Get him out of here too.
Yeah.
Brees is a shell of himself and all that. No. Okay. Braylon Allen, Brees Hall, two completely different types of running backs. Completely different. They don't utilize Brees the way they should. They should maybe do like a wheel route that goes ahead and gets them open. Use them like Aaron Jones was used, right? The frustration piece, you guys see it all there. We're close to being somewhat a lot better than what we should be, right? Now, the firing of Salah and all that and everything, it had to be done. It needed to be done because we were going nowhere quickly with that guy, unfortunately. And this is someone that was coming saying that I like Salah, right?
Yeah.
I tried to defend the individual and anything, but time after time after time after time, he failed us. He continued to keep failing. He would get on the podium and say, "Oh, we almost got him, on to the next one," and all that. Nah, not in the NFL. Every game counts. Every game is a must win for us. We haven't won anything, okay? And I don't know how long. And then we come into these games unprepared. I think the point differential is like 300 or something going into the second half, something like that. From what I saw a little bit earlier, 267, I think it was, or whatever, right? That we get outscored going into the half. That's nuts, right? What does that mean? Coaching ain't preparing himself, right? We kept talking about it. Aaron Jones gets out of this game, we should win this game, right? It's right in the bag for us and all that. Did that happen? No, it didn't. It didn't occur. Didn't happen. And we're here now, okay? Now, with Ulbrich, right?
Yeah.
He's our coach now and everything like that.
Yeah, he's
am I happy? Am I hyped up? No, I'm not.
Not
at all. No, I'm
what?
Not.
Come on, baby. I love Ulbrich.
I do too, but we have to win.
Oh, well, of course, obviously. Yeah.
Win will get me excited.
Well, he's got his chance. Happy. Week 6 Monday Night Football. It's a perfect spot for him. The crowd's going to give him a rousing ovation. I think the fans did not, for the most part, outside of a few of us that like Salah, the guy. I think a lot of people wanted Salah's ass thrown out with the bathwater. So I'm sure he's going to get a standing ovation at MetLife Stadium on Monday Night Football. Ulbrich will.
Yeah. Again, it's just that. I mean, the plays that are being called, Hackett sucks. We all know that.
Not great.
We all know that, right? But it's a package deal with Aaron Rodgers and all that. And I tell you guys this much: if we didn't have Aaron Rodgers behind the center, right, these games are not even close.
Definitely not.
Time and time after again, he almost gets us to over there. Okay. Again, this dude should not be throwing the ball 96 times in the last 2 games. We did not ask him to come here and be the old quarterback in Green Bay when he was in his 30s, when he was winning the 2 MVPs. We didn't ask that. We just wanted him to get it from point A, point B, put everybody in the positions on where they need to be, right, and go from there and check down and do the stuff that he's doing and whatnot. But you're expecting a guy to throw 54 times in the last game and everything and expect not them balls to get picked. It's going to happen. Now, that last throw that he threw, he took accountability for it. He came on that podium and he said, I underthrew that ball and all that. We never got that from Salah. And that's all we ever asked for him to come on the damn podium and say, guys, I suck. I need to be better. I will do better. That was one of the first things. Well, Ulbrich didn't say that, right? But one of the things that for me was spoke volumes to me is he said, I need to not be a defensive coordinator anymore, and I need to be a head coach. I need to scrap everything that I was doing. Okay. And Woody Johnson, I got to give it up to him because I was not expecting that to happen. I couldn't believe he did it, but it's about time. You want to make a difference. You want to make a statement. You want to tell the fan base you do something like this in a place where there's a possibility for us to continue to keep doing well within the season because we still have the opportunity to do it. We have a good team. We have a team that has too much talent. The Morgan Moses injury hurt us a lot more than what people are talking about. Okay. You're asking Olu Fashanu, that's again, he is a left tackle, to play right tackle. Okay. And you're expecting him to learn French when everybody's speaking English. It's just not gonna click that fast. You know what I mean? And I'm fired up from it because it's just a lot of the stuff that the fan base has been coming out and talking about, Brees and Sauce and stuff like that. Should Sauce have caught that ball that was in his? Yes, he should have, right? But would I prefer my corner to shut down people and not do stuff during almost the entire game? Yes, I do.
But why is it a choice, though? That's just what I would say. I love Sauce, but like, man, if you're going to be considered the best at your position, not that Sauce has crowned himself, but other people certainly have as the first team All-Pro in the first 2 years, you have to I'm not even asking for one-handed crazy-ass interception. Just do what is given to you. Correct. And that was an absolute grandma undertoss to Sauce, and he dropped it. And then the Vikings scored a touchdown on the next play. Now, again, we never look at that because we're talking about the Aaron Rodgers pick or the pick six or this blown play or that blown play or Allen's leading the league in drops. Sauce Gardner has to make those plays. I was at the Cowboys game last year. Dropping the pick six changed the game. If Sauce wants to be considered the best of the best, if he wants to get paid between $25 and $30 million, he has to make those plays. They're non-negotiable. He claims to be, and we claim that he is one of our best players. It's about damn time that Sauce steps up to the plate and makes those plays. So I know you've said it. I have heard Easy talk about it before, about like maybe Sauce just doesn't have it. Like, then if he doesn't have it, then we got to recalibrate what Sauce is, or he just needs to start making those plays. I feel like we make too many excuses for Sauce, and I love Sauce a lot, but he has to take the next step. We talking about things like Salah, where you talk, and then we don't get results. Like Sauce, like, man, I got to hit the jugs machine. Well, I don't give a flying hoot what you do. You got to do something where you're catching these easy ass interceptions and making game-changing plays for your team.
Boy Green, you're completely right. And yes, he should. Like I said, he should have caught that one that was literally in his hands, right? Brutal. It was tough. But then I could also say, well, Quincy should have ran the ball and it would have been.
Yeah, you got pushed over by Sammy. Yeah.
It would have been 7-3. Aaron Rodgers should have, gave himself a little bit more time and threw it to freaking Garrett with the double. You know what I mean? Like, there's things, but this again, right? Mm-hmm. You get people that are coming out. So look, the thing about this is we haven't won nothing. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
It is. Am I still going to watch this game coming up on Monday? You're right. I mean, look, dude, look at my back, right? All Jets shit. All day, a lot of Jet stuff. Every single day, and it's tough, man, but I'm still here. You know what I mean? I still got my mess stuff and everything like that. But this is the team that they win. It makes it more. It's a lot more, right? I mean, BG, you do this every single day, bro.
I do.
Every single day, right? And we're here rocking with you and all that because we love this shit. We just can't get enough of it. You know what I mean? We have that disease, bro, where, the Jets are that toxic chick that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know that she's not good for us, bro, but she gives us that one taste and we back on it again, man. Wow. All right. I know you got mad people. I had to come up here, dude. I appreciate you doing that. Yo, Boy Green Daily in the morning, 7:30 a.m. Catch them on, man, all day, every day. Appreciate you, but it's the Boy Green nightcap. So let's go fucking Mets, baby. Let's go Jets. Appreciate it.
I love it, Johnny. Yeah, the only thing I just want to make sure we add to the conversation, and the thing that really pissed me off, not about you, Johnny, but like Damian Woody was on NFL Live First Take. I don't know. They all run together. And he's not the only one, but he's the one I'm going to pick on, that we're making fun of Aaron Rodgers for all these turnovers he's been having all season. Huh? Excuse me? He entered the Vikings game with 5 touchdowns and 1 pick. Why are we talking about all these turnovers? He had a shitty game against the Vikings. Obviously, we all saw it. But like the people making it seem like Rodgers has like been throwing picks every game, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He had 5 touchdowns, 1 pick heading into the Vikings game. He implodes and has 3 picks against the Vikings. He has 2 picks in the first quarter for the first time in his career. Terrible. God awful. Not excusing it. Rodgers has to play better. But people are making it sound like this bastard is washed and has been clearly washed the entire season. I don't know what they're seeing. I'm not seeing it. He made terrible mistakes against the Vikings. But there have been plenty of wow throws that Aaron Rodgers made, and he needs the receivers to get on the same page as him, not he get on the same page with the receivers. He's Aaron Rodgers. These receivers are whoever they are. They need to get on his page. So again, I think the washed comments on Aaron Rodgers have been over the top. And I'm not saying that is what Johnny Boy was saying, but I don't see it at all. I'm seeing people even right now in the comments. He looks washed. He looks washed. He looks washed. Okay. let's see how the season continues to be. For me, I'm not seeing wash. I saw a shitty game against the Minnesota Vikings, but he had one pick before that. I think he's all right. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's keep this rolling. We got 1,100 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the good gospel of the Boy Green Show, whether it's at nightcap or Boy Green Daily. We'll be back on in a couple hours for Boy Green Daily in the morning. Hopefully, breaking news on this Devonte Adams thing. We'll keep an eye out for that. Let's go to EZ. We're just talking about him. EZ, what's up, man? You're on some level of mute. I think it's on your headset there, maybe, because it's not on here. Nope, nothing. Okay, we'll come back to you, EZ. Hang on tight. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you didn't. Your screen didn't say mute, so it's probably something with your headset. All right, let's go to the next car as we're waiting for him. Let's go to BMAC. Hey, morning and night. BMAC's always ready.
Hey, Paul. How you doing? What a crazy day, man! Shocking day,
sure.
Man.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
Wild. Yeah.
Before we get on to the side thing, I just want you to know, Patrick Mahomes, right? You know, the great Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
Right. And again, his team is undefeated. They're 5-0, but it's not because of him. All right, it's not. 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Thank you.
Now, right? Is he washed?
Exactly.
Right? Is Patrick Mahomes falling off the cliff?
Right? Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers, by the way, has 7 touchdowns and 4 picks this year.
Matt Stafford.
Yeah. What does he have?
Yeah. And Matt Stafford, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and his team is 1-4. Is he washed? Is Matt Stafford is over the hill? You know? Another example. Deshaun Watson, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 74 quarterback rating. His team is 1-4. Is Deshaun Watson washed? Is he over the hill?
Yeah, he's probably washed. Yeah.
And he's younger. Deshaun Watson is 20. Deshaun Watson is 25, 26, or 28, somewhere around that. Like I don't hear none of this wash talk around him. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's 29, but still, I get your point.
Rodgers.
Way younger. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not excusing Rodgers. All right, he sucked. All right, he admitted it. He took accountability. All right, he put it on him. All right, like, what more do you want? Like, just keep bashing the guy. Like he had a bad game. It happens. The Tom Brady had a stinker like that. I bet no one will be having that same entry towards him. And Tom Brady had plenty of stinkers with Tampa. I saw his regular season games. They were atrocious, or worse than Rodgers. So I just think people need to relax. All right. Again, he's not blameless. He was terrible, and I expect him to play better the rest of the year. And then the one thing. Oh, and I know you say Ty Dunne is gonna come. I hope you're gonna be taking Carlos, because I won't go on there and fight with Ty Dunne if he says that Rodgers is, wash.
Yeah, the only thing I don't I don't know how much time he has. I hope so. I hope he does have time for college. He hasn't told me what's his availability on Thursday, but I hope so. But yes, yeah. So guys, in case you missed it, Ty Dunne, formerly of Bleacher Report, he has his own individual writing and podcasting and everything that is Go Long. He covered the Green Bay Packers for a long time. He dropped an article this week where he called Aaron Rodgers washed and said this is the beginning of the end. And he went deep. I mean, all kinds of quotes. You guys can read the story. We're going to have him on the show on Thursday because I'm like, not that I agree, obviously, because I just said I don't, but I like having different opinions on the show. And boy, I am very looking forward to poking and prodding some of the stuff in that story because I think it's super overreactionary. But that'll be on Thursday. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, just let you know that, Ty Dunne has always been I'm not going to say a Rodgers hater, but he's always been anti-Rodgers-ish. It seems like he wrote that Bleacher Report article back in 2018 and about Rodgers and McCarthy, about they kind of feud, and Rodgers called him out on it big time. And I think since then, Ty has had a grudge since. So I think it could be bad, but that has nothing to do with football. But the other thing, we be more about that Thursday. The whole Robert Saleh thing, man. Look, I'm kind of torn on this because I was like, we couldn't wait until later on during the year. We couldn't give it time. You know what I mean? Like, I was shocked. And I was like, and then the other side, now I'm like, the more I think about it, like, this is the right move. Sharif, I respect you, my man, but come on, man. Like, you saying that Robert Saleh had a winning season and the Jets had the winning season. I know they're not, man. Like 20-36. All right, 20-36. The worst winning percentage of a head coach. One of the worst winning percentage of a head coach. Robert Saleh has not been. Robert Saleh has not made the Jets relevant. Rodgers has made the Jets relevant, but Robert Saleh has not made the Jets relevant. You know what I mean? So I just think that we done. Look, I like Robert Saleh as a human. I think he's a great guy, great dude, but. Look, Woody Johnson said the things that Robert Saleh refuses to say. Look, we are playing below our expectations, and we should be better than 2-3 when we have the Harvard quarterback with a team that's talented. And enough is enough, and it's time for a change. So I agree with the move. Shocked that it happened previously, but I agree with the move, and that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, appreciate it, BMAC. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar camp to BMAC. The news shocked me. My jaw was on the floor. When I was at the radio station, that broke live, and we talked for the next 2 hours live on the radio here in Syracuse of the Robert Saleh news. And I'm still stunned by it, even at this moment, as I'm reading the headline of this reacted to Jets firing Robert Saleh. I'm pinching myself like I'm going to go to bed tonight, wake up and go, oh, that was a weird dream. Like, that really happened, and I'm still stunned by it. But I think the more I think about it, it feels like the right move based on the reasons that we're hearing, that it seems like he lost the locker room and lost some respect and things on the coaching staff and not holding people accountable, the slow starts, the penalty issues that he refuses to fix, the Quincy Williams talked about the tired act over and over again of all gas, no, he didn't say this specifically, now I'm paraphrasing, but all gas, no break, don't worry, we'll fix it, don't worry, we're close, don't worry, we're this. Oh, I know we had a slow start, no reason why that, I'm not sure why that happened. Like, all of that grew cumbersome and it grew tiresome, and the players were like, F this, man, like, what the hell? And that can spin everything out of control. Woody gets the temperature check on, oh, shoot, I think shit's going south. I got to get rid of this guy to try to save and salvage this season. Again, as we mentioned earlier, an interim head coach has never brought a team to the Super Bowl. Hell, an interim coach that is replacing a guy who was fired technically has never made it to the playoffs. Now, everyone brings up Rich Bisaccia. Technically speaking, John Gruden resigned. He was not fired, so that's why there's a technical rule or a loophole in that. But he did bring them to the playoffs, obviously, and I believe they lost in the opening wildcard round of the Bengals. And I believe that Bengals team went to the Super Bowl. But the fact of the matter is there's not a lot of great history saying, don't worry, the Jets will turn this around. But the Jets can't worry about history. They got to worry about the present, and that was this Jets team being as talented as they are. And quite frankly and quite bluntly, Robert Saleh wasn't getting the most out of this group. And Woody owes it to himself to say, you know what? He's not. Maybe someone else will. And he believes that Jeff Ulbrich is going to get the most out of this group. We'll see if that is indeed the case. And we're going to see on Monday Night Football. And we're going to get some nuggets as Ulbrich is the new head coach, and he's going to be doing these press conferences throughout the week leading into the game. Sharif, real quick, I got a YouTube super chat. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna. Wow. Sharif saying respect and love, my boy. 100%. I appreciate different opinions here on this show, so feel free. Whether they're calls, super chats, members, or anything of that nature, we appreciate it. All right, let's go back to EZ here on the show. I think we got the situation fixed. EZ, can you hear me?
Check 1, 2.
All right, clear. You're clear for takeoff.
All right, so this is kind of bittersweet. Salah did have a lot to do with building this team and getting the defense good, but shit happens, man. He lost the locker room. I think that's the bottom line, and I think Woody saw the handwriting on the wall. A couple of guys started talking, and it's like a cockroach. If you see one, you know there's many more. And I think Woody was smart enough to realize if I cut it off now, maybe we have a chance of salvaging the season. And it's a lot different in the offseason where you fire everybody, because at least this way, Salah's gone, but we still have 95% continuity.
Correct.
So that's the thing.
Yeah. Someone else said it earlier that, again, if you were going to have such a short leash on Salah, why wouldn't you do it in the offseason as opposed to now? And it sounds like from Woody didn't give a great answer to this during the conference call, but what he seemed to say is that, Aaron Rodgers gave a massive vote of confidence at the end of the year for Douglas and Salah, and wanted them back. And then we all have a plan, and then we get punched in the face, and, well, we got to adapt. And
Mike Tyson. Everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the mouth, and then there's no more plan.
That's 100% it. The plan was for Salah to coach his team and hopefully take us to a Super Bowl. Oh, shoot, Salah's not the guy, and we could have went down with that ship. Or, as your point, Woody, now there's no guarantee this is going to work, but he sensed it wasn't going to work, so he wanted to try to do something else to attempt to salvage the season. And you have to
don't fire him when it's 2-5, and then you're expecting Ulbrich to take a 2-5 team and bring them to the playoffs. Right now, we're fighting for first place, and this is the time to do it.
100%.
The other thing is, Joe D built this team. I equate this whole situation as Joe D went out and got Kobe beef and the best, freshest vegetables you could have, and Salah went and burnt dinner.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I love that analogy. And by the way, it sounds like Woody is in your corner easy, because obviously Joe Douglas still has a job, obviously. But the other point is Woody gave a lot of credit to this construction of the team, saying it's the most talented team he's ever had in his ownership in 25 years. That sounds like, even though he didn't say it directly, that's a tip of the cap to Joe Douglas, who put this team together over the last couple of years. So it sounds like, he's getting some love.
Look at our 2019 roster compared to what we have right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just go from 2019 to right now.
Yeah, who's on
which team do you want?
DJ Mosley. I mean, that's like it from that era. So, and Thomas Hennessy maybe. So that's like 3 players. 100%. You want the current unit.
Yeah, but like I said, Parcells always used to say, I like to do the shopping for my meal. Well, this was a case where Joe D did the shopping, got the best food, and the chef just ruined dinner. And so he got rid of the chef.
Yeah. And let's see if a different cook in the kitchen, he gives him those same ingredients again. What can you do with it, Ulbrich? And that's, to me, again, this news surprised me. I like Salah as a guy. I didn't see this coming. But damn, if you go back to the original piece of this, Salah wasn't getting the most of the ingredients. Joe Douglas gave him all those wonderful ingredients, and he made mac and cheese. You're like, thought you were going to do something a little different with this Kobe beef. Now let's put Ulbrich back there and see if he can make a more exquisite cuisine. And they've got incredible ingredients. Salah can't complain and say, I got a Dollar General menu over here. No, you don't. Look at the talent of this team, and he wasn't getting the most of it.
And Woody is also showing every member of this team, you're not too big for your britches. I just fired the coach because you guys shitted up for him.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. The other thing is, I think Keith Carter, this might light a fire under his ass. And Hackett, everyone knows Hackett has got to go. Hackett knows Hackett's got to go. So the only reason he's there is because of Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. The only reason Alan Lazard still gets passes thrown his way is because of Aaron Rodgers. So I don't understand some of this stuff. But Lazard dropped 3 touchdown passes this year, and I can't blame Salah for that. But I can blame Salah for not benching his ass. That's where the accountability was coming from. He would say with the penalties, they were like, well, what are you going to do about it? And his response was, well, they're grown men. They know what they need to do. No, I had it right. I told you, timeout, bring everybody over, point fingers in their face and say, what the fuck are you guys doing? Are you out of your mind? You're professionals. And you told me I couldn't do that. Well, I think Woody wanted him to do that, and when he didn't do that, and he went up for the I'm getting feedback, so I'm losing train of thought. When he's at the podium and he keeps repeating the same garbage, it's because, he's got this deer in the headlights look because he's shell shocked, but it's his fault. He didn't hold these guys' feet to the fire.
That's
run
true.
wind sprints. Make them run the stairs with you before the game. Punish them.
Yeah, that's always been my take. I'm sorry you're getting feedback there, Easy, but just to kind of go off of that, I've always been a guy that's preferred hard coaching in my life. Again, I'm not an NFLer and I don't pretend to be. I've always preferred a coach grabbing my face mask and ripping into me if I made a mistake because I respected that. I was raised in a military household, of course, so maybe that's how I was born and raised, but I love the discipline and holding people accountable. And when people effed up, they got barked at. And it just kept, in my opinion, it kept everyone in line, and it showed where the line was. There's no favoritism. It just is what it is. You blow this, you're doing this. You blow this, you're doing that. You're getting yelled at. You're getting embarrassed in front of the team. And there was an accountability like, shit, I don't want to get yelled at. Shit, I don't want to go run loosies, as we call them again here in Oswego term, of these big-ass hills, these Jerry Rice-esque hills where you have to run up with your cleats, run all the way to the top of this hill, run back down, go back up, run back down. And then there was these endurance challenges and stamina and everything else for not being on your crap. And I prefer that. Again, maybe that's a amateurish thing because it's not an NFL thing. I don't care how you do it, but there has to be accountability, and there just hasn't been. Point blank, straight up. And that was a big reason that Salah is no longer here. Jets 830, I see this comment in here. BG, does Brick give you Dan Campbell vibes? Much too early, Jets 830, to give that comparison. Dan Campbell's been great. He was not well received initially. His biting kneecaps, he got made fun of and was called an idiot and a goofy former football player. So it's hard to make that kind of lofty comp. I mean, that'd be great if you could get someone like that. I mean, Ulbrich has some of those vibes. He was a nasty linebacker in the NFL for a decade. To be around for that long is incredibly impressive. I like the fire of Ulbrich. If you guys haven't checked it out, Google the Zach Rosenblatt deep dive on Jeff Ulbrich and wanted to become a coach, and hearing his backstory is super cool, and it's worth a reread. He didn't just write it, but he wrote it, I think it was during the summer, and it was a great piece. I'm a huge fan of Jeff Ulbrich. I'm glad he's getting this opportunity. He has a legitimate shot to earn the job full time. I think the Jets lean probably. This is looking way too far ahead. Is probably getting an offensive head coach in here. But shoot, Jeff Ulbrich has a chance to win the division for the first time since 2002. He has a chance to make the playoffs. Everything is in front of Ulbrich. There's no excuses. This team is all there. The talent's there. Morgan Moses looks like he's coming back. You got the talent on this team. If you beat the Buffalo Bills week 6 Monday Night Football, you have a share for first place in the AFC East, but you would have the head-to-head tiebreaker over Buffalo. You'd be 2-0 in the division. Jeff Ulbrich, if you want to be an NFL head coach, this is perhaps the greatest path to going from interim to head coach that's ever been presented to a candidate before. So, sure, would I like the result to be Dan Campbell and be a relevant team in the NFL, and he took the Lions to the NFC Championship game? Abso-freaking-lutely. But that's a little lofty goals for a guy who's never been a head coach before. Let's see if he can cut it as a head coach. Not everyone can. Look at Salah. A great defensive coordinator mine. As a head coach, he stinks. Is Jeff Ulbrich going to be great? No friggin' clue. We're all going to find that out together, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get, we got 1,200 people in the room. I appreciate it, guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe, baby. We'll get one more caller in here. And like I said, we'll be back on in a couple hours for Boy Green Daily. A few more than a couple. I'll get some sleep, and then we'll be back on, hopefully with some level of breaking news on the Devonte Adams situation, which by all accounts from NFL insiders that I've heard, the Jets are still very much in the sweepstakes. Adams is still interested in the Jets despite the Salah news, and he is, quote-unquote, unaffected by it, according to insiders around the league. So great news for the Jets. Let's just keep adding more pieces. Let's trade for Devonte. Let's bring in Hassan Reddick. Let's go. Let's go win some ball games, baby. Give Jeff Ulbrich the best possible opportunity to win with this roster. That'd be great. Let's go to one more phone call here on the program. And tomorrow morning, we'll have Jets reporter Nick Faria of Athlon Sports joining us to give us the insider perspective. He joined us on the radio earlier this morning. Let's see. Let's go to KO here on the show. What's up, KO?
Hey, what's up, Paul?
Hey,
Listen, man. I knew it was gonna happen. I seen it because for guys that come like guys like Quincy Williams, one of our locker room guys, lead on his defense, for him to come out and say, first of all, no, not even that. Aaron Rodgers saying, yeah, guys need to be held accountable. I saw the turmoil, and I'm an ex-football player, man. Like when they get to the point where the players, where the body language is showing like they don't care anymore, you go to the locker room, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah,
and
it felt that way. It felt that way.
Yeah, and my thing is, listen, I love hard coaching. I love hard coaching. Like, yeah, if I if I fuck up, yeah, get on me. Like, like
for sure.
Come on, like this whole all this, being all too gentle and they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. No, nobody want to hear that. Because listen, believe it or not, it's like a relationship. If your significant other isn't doing her part and you're carrying and you doing everything, at some point in time you get felt like, oh, come on, I need your help. It's the same thing with sports, with football. The defense holding up their bargain, and hey, like, coach, what are you gonna do? We need some adjustments. And that's one thing I realized about Robert Saleh. He's not a good adjuster. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't make any adjustments. I'm sorry. He is just not. Some guys are just meant to be offensive coordinators. Some guys are just meant to be defensive coordinators. It is what it is. Head coaching is not for everybody. It's not.
Obviously not. It is clearly not.
It's not, man. And Makai Becton, he's a dweeb. And I was so mad that, like, for real, like, he's a dweeb. I was so mad that we took him over Tristan. I wanted Tristan Wirfs that year.
Yeah. I wanted CD Lamb, but either would have been great. Yeah.
Listen, when it's all said and done, you can't go wrong on building through the old line first, man.
Of course.
As a matter of fact, if you see like Minnesota all line, those are all draftees that they drafted and molded together. You need to do that, man. Like you see like the Dallas Cowboys, they mold their guys, they bring their guys in. And we gotta listen. It's a copycat league, the NFL. And honestly, I thought Hackett would have been the first one to go because he's by far just sorry. I'm sorry, like he sucks. He's just not it. And my thing is, is this like Aaron Rodgers running show? Like, what's going on?
Well, we got to see, because Jeff Ulbrich, apparently, according to Woody, has the power to make other changes, and over the next however long it's going to take, he will make those changes. So if he makes no changes, that's going to be a hard pill, I think, for Jet fans as well, if he makes no changes to the offensive staff, because, boy, it's obvious they need help. And so people are going to have to be rearranged, reassigned. So let's see what Jeff Ulbrich does with that. So it's not for people that are complaining that, Hackett hasn't been fired or this guy hasn't been moved yet. Like, let's give Ulbrich more than, 7 hours to figure out what he's doing with the staff.
Hey, you know what, Paul? Like, and I remember when Jeff Ulbrich played. I remember when he was on the Niners. And his years of playing football, I thought he was an underrated player. He lost his job to the great Patrick Willis, Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
but as far as a guy that played the game, that means so much. That means a lot for a players coach that play a guy that played the game that knows how his players are feeling. About a lot of things, you need
There's
that
relatability
guy.
there, of course.
Exactly, and I think Brick will be fine. Honestly, I'm actually happy for him. But
he's a good guy.
He needs to, which I believe. I think that being that he's calling the shots, I think he will make the right adjustments. When needed. I got faith in him. But at the same time, our O-line has to get better.
Oh, for
sure. Desperately, desperately has to get better. Yeah. It's not at all. And my thing is, who was it? I forgot. One of my cousins, he, and I critique, our just players. We love them, but we gotta criticize when criticism is there. Sauce Gardner needs to do better, hands down. This is the second time. This is the second time that a gimme was in his hand for a pick, and he drops the ball.
Yeah.
Second
no
time.
more excuses for him, man. He's got to catch the ball.
Listen. And this is what I was telling people. I'm like, you know what? It's the difference between him and Pat Surtain. You know why? Pat Surtain makes the plays. He attacks the ball. He does. You know, and Souls need to do that. You know, had he caught that pick, that's a whole different outcome.
Oh, for sure.
It gives us a chance. If you're a big time player, you need to make big time plays. That's what big time plays do. They make big time plays, especially in crucial moments like that during the game, because he picks that ball, we win the game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We win the game.
Yeah, they scored a touchdown on the next play, 100%. Yes,
exactly. So if we're going to be with the elites and all these other teams, we got to make plays. We had to offensively. I'm sick of Allen Lazard. I'm tired of even watching him even lace up, honestly, because him dropping passes time after time is like really nerve wracking. It is because if he catches that ball, it's not an Aaron Rodgers pick six. It's not. It's 3rd and 6. He drops that pass. You did nothing to help Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You did nothing. You did nothing to help Aaron Rodgers. Nothing at all. So, my thing is, if you're going to hold guys accountable, listen, you better tighten it up because one of these other hungry players are coming to make some plays. Nobody's job is safe. It got to be competitive all around. Nobody's job is safe. Nobody.
And no one's job should be safe, KO. That's the point. No one. I hope that's the overall message from Woody. Is like, hey, man, there's blood all over here. And this is what's going to happen if you guys don't clean your bleeping stuff up. You'd think that'd be pretty obvious based on this kind of season and the all-in season. But it's not just a message. Obviously, Salah had to go. It seems, again, based on all the information we have. It surprised me. I wouldn't have done it. I don't have the balls, apparently, that Woody Johnson has. And now that it's happened and we can't change it, it is what it is. Woody Johnson has made the move. The more it just kind of marinates with me, I'm just like, you know what? I think that was the right call. And then we'll see if it is. The results will certainly prove that. But I'll be kind of curious. Well, folks, appreciate the late night stream. Again, apologies for you guys hearing from me so late, but I appreciate those who have tuned in. 1,200 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning, no matter what. Plus, of course, there's additional stream and other video opportunities just like this. We'll be on tomorrow morning in a handful of hours with Nick Ferrier, our Jets reporter from Athlon Sports, to dive even deeper in this with an insider perspective. Hopefully, you guys can join us tomorrow morning. Thursday morning, Ty Dunne, who wrote an article for Go Long saying Aaron Rodgers is washed. We'll explore that topic as a guy who covered Aaron Rodgers for a long time in Green Bay and see if that is truth or bullshit. And on Friday, we got a Buffalo Bills insider coming on because, the Jets play the Bills on Monday Night Football for possession of first place in the AFC East. We got a lot of great guests. Keep spreading the love, baby. You guys can always join the Boy Green Coffee Club in the YouTube description down below. That is how you can help support this show. The free way to support the show is by liking the video and hitting subscribe. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's a new era. I love Jeff Ulbrich. Shout out to Jeff Ulbrich for getting this up. And let's see if this Jets team can turn it around because there's still plenty of season left to kick some ass. We'll see, of course, if they can do that. One more Hep song, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets.